Hey there, welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad you're here today, because we're about to talk about something I know hits home for so many of us. What happens when your ex reaches out? You know the feeling, right? 1 minute you're moving out, building your life, finding your confidence again. And then bam, you see their name pop up on your phone. It's like a sudden emotional roller coaster. That familiar rush of old feelings floods back eye. Maybe you feel your heart race, your mind start to whirl, and suddenly you're questioning everything. Do I answer? What does this mean? Your mind is flooded with 1,000 thoughts. And before you know it, you're back to feeling a bit shaky, maybe even vulnerable. It's totally normal to have a reaction like this. It's human. But here's the truth I need you to really hear. You are in control, you decide how this plays out. It doesn't matter what they say, or why they've contacted you. They don't get to hijack your peace, or your progress anymore. And that's what we're going to talk about today. How to take your power back when your ex contacts you, and how to avoid the 7 biggest mistakes that can pull you back into emotional chaos. Because let's be real, this moment is a test. A test of how far you've come, how much you've grown, and how much you've learned since that relationship ended. When your ex shows up, it's almost like life is giving you a little reminder. A reminder of what you've been through, what you've survived, and where you're heading now. And guess what? This is your chance to show up for yourself. This is your chance to prove to yourself how strong, how resilient, and how worthy you truly are. You don't need them to feel complete. You don't need their validation. You are whole on your own. But I get it, this can be confusing. Maybe there's a part of you that still wonders, what could have been? Or maybe you feel that pull to revisit the past. And I want to acknowledge that. It's okay to feel those things. But it's also important to remember that the past doesn't define you. And it certainly doesn't dictate your future. Your ex might be reaching out for reasons that have nothing to do with you. But no matter what their intentions are, you have to stay centered. And that's exactly what we're going to work on today. So, before we dive into the 7 mistakes you need to avoid when your ex contacts you, I want to remind you of something crucial. You've come so far. Seriously. Whether you've been working on yourself for months, or you're just starting your healing journey, the fact that you're here means you're already making progress. And I'm proud of you for that. Oh, let's take a moment to truly acknowledge your growth. In the comments below, I want you to drop an affirmation for yourself. Here's mine. I am strong, I am whole, and I am deserving of peace and love. Let that sink in and share it with the world. And while you're at it, go ahead and drop an affirmation of your own in the comments below. What's something you need to remind yourself of right now? Something that gives you strength. Something that reaffirms your power. Let's lift each other up, okay? All that we set that intention. Let's get into it. When your ex reaches out, it can feel like you've been thrown into an emotional blender. It's easy to feel like you're losing control, like your past is pulling you back. But I'm here to tell you, you don't have to go back to that place. You've grown, you've learned it. And now, you're going to handle this situation with confidence, clarity, and most importantly, control. Take a moment, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to stay true to your progress. Protect your energy, And make sure you never make these 7 mistakes. When your ex comes knocking, you're ready? Let's dive in. Mistake no. 1. Responding out of impulse. Your phone buzzes, it's them suddenly. Your heart races, emotions surge. And the urge to reply is overwhelming. You type something quickly, hit send and then regret. Sound familiar? This is the trap of impulsive responses. A moment where emotions override reason, and control slips through your fingers. But let's pause. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind. OT outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." His words hold the key to this situation. You may not control when someone reaches out, but you absolutely control how you respond. And in that choice lies your power. When you respond impulsively, you're handing over your power to emotions, fear, excitement, or even longing. Impulsive replies often come across as anxious, overly eager, or reactive. They send a message, yes, but often the wrong one. Worse, they leave you feeling unsettled and wondering if you've weakened your position. Here's the truth: responding impulsively is not just about the words you choose. It's about what those words represent. Are they coming from a place of confidence and calm, or insecurity and haste? That's why taking a pause before responding isn't just helpful, it's essential. The moment you receive that text or call, stop. Take a deep breath, resist the urge to reply immediately. Instead, give yourself time, at least 24 hours to think. Use this time to reflect not just on what you'll say, but on how you feel. Why did this message affect you so strongly? Are you seeking closure, validation, or something deeper? This pause isn't about playing games or manipulating the situation. It's about protecting your energy and ensuring that your response reflects the person you've become. OT the person they may remember. By choosing to delay, you're showing respect for yourself and setting the tone for how others should treat you. Think of it this way: when you respond impulsively, you're letting their message dictate your actions. But when you take time to think and choose, you regain control. Your response becomes intentional, thoughtful, and confident. It shows that you're not someone who can be swayed by fleeting emotions. You're grounded, self-assured, and in control of your narrative. Imagine how different it feels to reply with clarity. A calm, measured response doesn't just communicate your thoughts. It conveys your worth. It says, "I am not here to react to your whims. I decide how and when I respond." That is power. So the next time your phone buzzes and emotions rush out, remember, you don't have to act immediately. Pause. Reflect, and when you do respond, do it from a place of strength and self-respect. I want you to drop an affirmation in the comments. I am calm, confident, and in control. Because that's exactly who you are when you choose thoughtful responses over impulsive reactions. Mistake no. 2. Seeking closure from them. Let's face it, when a relationship ends, we often yearn for one thing: closure. We want answers to questions like, why did this happen? Was it something I did? Or do they still care? We believe that if the other person explains, apologizes, or provides neat resolution, the pain will magically disappear. But let me tell you something that might sting at first. Closure does not come from someone else. It comes from within when you seek closure from your ex. You're handing them the keys to your emotional freedom. You're saying, I can't move on until you give me permission. And that, my friend, is a dangerous place to be. Because more often than not, the answers you're looking for either won't come, or if they do, they won't be satisfying. Their words won't heal your wounds, and their reasoning won't erase the pie. The Stoic philosopher Seneca reminds us, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. What does this mean? It means that the stories we tell ourselves, the fantasies of what if and if, only cause more pain than the actual event. You don't need their answers, their validation, or their version of the story to move forward. Closure isn't something they give you. It's something you claim for yourself. Here's the harsh truth. Even if they sit down with you and explain everything, it likely won't bring the peace you're searching for. Why? Because closure isn't about understanding them. It's about accepting what is. It's about letting go of the past, the regrets and the unanswered questions. It's about saying to yourself, this chapter is over and I am turning the page. Instead of seeking closure from them, take the power back into your own hands. Start with this exercise. Write down everything you want to say to them. Be raw, be honest. Pour out every emotion right as if they'll read it. But here's the twist, you're not going to send it. Instead, burn that paper. Shred it or delete the file. This act isn't about them. It's about you. Releasing the weight you've been carrying. It's a symbolic way of saying, I don't need your answers to find peace. I am giving myself permission to move forward. Think about it. Why should your healing depend on someone who couldn't even show up for you in the way you deserved? Why let their silence, excuses, or even their explanations define your worth? You are stronger than that. You are whole even without their input. Closure is a decisio. It's you choosing to love yourself more than the pain of what happened. It's recognizing that you deserve a future, free from the chains of the past. And it's about trusting that you have everything you need to heal within you. OT in their words, but in your own courage and strength. Mistake no. 3. Reverting to old habits. It's tempting, isn't it? The moment your ex reaches out, memories of laughter, late night talks, and shared dreams come rushing back. Nostalgia wraps you in its warm embrace, whispering maybe it wasn't so bad. Maybe we can go back to how things were. But here's the truth, nostalgia is deceptive. It magnifies the good moments and blurs the painful ones. It's like looking at an old photo. Beautiful in its stillness, but stripped of the chaos, the arguments, and the reasons. The relationship ended in the first place. Falling into old habits is one of the easiest traps. When you're dealing with an ex, maybe they say all the right things, or maybe they don't say much at all. But your heart fills in the gaps, painting them in the light you want to see. This is where the real danger lies. OT in their words or actions, but in your willingness to rewrite the story. In your mind, epic teeters. The Stoic philosopher wisely said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The breakup happened, the past cannot be changed. But how you respond now, that's where your power lies. Are you reacting from a place of emotional growth, Or are you slipping back into the comfort of familiarity? Old habits die hard, especially in relationships. Maybe you always said yes when they asked for something, even when it drained you. Maybe you ignored red flags, hoping things would magically improve. These patterns didn't serve you then, and they won't serve you now. If you revert to those habits, you risk losing the progress you've made. The person you're becoming deserves better. They deserve boundaries, respect, and a relationship built on mutual effort and growth. So before you respond to that text or pick up that call, pause. Ask yourself, am I acting out of loneliness, or have I genuinely grown? Am I stepping back into this with a clear mind and strong boundaries? Or am I seeking the comfort of the past? Growth is uncomfortable, but it's necessary. It's about choosing what's best for you over what's easy. And it means recognizing that the person you were when the relationship ended isn't the person you are now. You've evolved, you've learned it. And that growth means refusing to settle for the patterns that once held you back. Here's a powerful exercise. When you feel tempted to fall into old habits, write down what those habits are. Then decide each one, write what you've learned and what you'll do differently this time. This visual reminder will keep you anchored in the present and focused on the future. Remember, moving forward doesn't mean erasing the past. It means honoring the lessons it taught you. Let nostalgia inspire gratitude for the good times. But don't let it blind you to why you needed to move on. You're not the same person anymore. And that's a good thing. Stay true to the path of growth, because that's where your strength lies. Mistake for letting your self-worth be affected. When your ex reaches out, it can feel like a mirror, reflecting every insecurity you've ever felt. You might wonder, am I worth their time? Do I matter to them anymore? But the real question is why? Are you letting their actions affect how you see yourself? The truth is, your self-worth is not dependent on how someone else values you. It's rooted in how you see yourself, your strengths, your character, and your journey. When you allow someone else's behavior to shape your confidence, you give away a piece of your power. You might replay their words in your mind, or analyze their intentions, hoping for validation, but this cycle does nothing except reinforce the false belief that you need someone else to define your value. You don't. Self-worth isn't built in someone's approval or admiration, it's built in the moments you stand firm, even when the ground beneath feels unsteady. Take time to reflect on your own accomplishments, both big and small. Maybe it's the way you've been there for others, how you've shown resilience in the face of challenges, or even the progress you've made in areas no one else sees. These are the things that define your worth. Epic teachers famously said, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. This wisdom reminds us that your self-worth isn't something to seek outside. It's something to build from within. You decide who you are. You set the standard for how you should be treated. The more you embrace your intrinsic value, the less their words or actions will affect you. Instead of questioning your worth, focus on affirming it. Shift the narrative in your mind from, why am I not enough for them, to why am I doubting myself in the first place? You are enough not because of anything external, but because you are uniquely you. No one else can bring what you bring to this world. Here's a practical step the next time doubt creeps out. Pause and write down 3 moments when you felt truly proud of yourself. Maybe it was overcoming a tough situation, helping someone in need, or sticking to a promise you made to yourself. Reflect on these moments and remind yourself that your worth isn't up for negotiation. Let this be a turning point for you. Instead of letting their presence or absence dictate how you feel about yourself, use this as an opportunity to anchor into your truth. You don't need closure from them, approval from them, or even acknowledgement from them to recognize your value. You are the writer of your story. OT them. Drop an affirmation in the comments. I am more than enough because you are. And nothing, no text. Oh, silence, no action can take that away from you. Mistake 5: ignoring your emotions. When your ex reaches out, it's easy to think you need to shove your emotions down and act like you don't care. After all, isn't that what being strong means? OT, feeling anything? Absolutely not. Ignoring your emotions is like ignoring a fire alarm. It doesn't make the issue go away. It just makes it harder to deal with later. Your emotions are there for a reason. They're trying to tell you something. Maybe it's anger, reminding you of the boundaries that were crossed, or sadness, signaling the loss of something important. Whatever it is, these feelings are your mind's way of processing the experience. The Stoics didn't run from emotions. They acknowledged them but didn't let them take control. Seneca put it best: the greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it. Feeling your emotions is not the problem. Being consumed by them is. Think about it: if you suppress your emotions, where do they go? They don't disappear. They build up over time. This can lead to unexpected outbursts, or even emotional numbness, where you feel detached from everything. OT, just the pie. This isn't strength, it's avoidance. And it robs you of the opportunity to grow through the experience. So what should you do instead? Start by acknowledging what you're feeling. Without judgment, sit in a quiet space. Close your eyes and ask yourself, what's really going on inside me? Maybe it's fear of being hurt a guy. Or maybe it's relief that they reached out. Whatever it is, give yourself permission to feel it fully. Oh, distractions, no self-criticism. Just you facing your truth. Once you've identified the emotion, let it move through you. Journaling is a powerful way to process what you're feeling. Write down everything: your anger, your confusion, your longing, without filtering it. This practice isn't about finding solutions. It's about giving your emotions a safe outlet. Meditation can also help. Imagine each emotion as a wave in the ocean. Let it rise, let it crash, and let it settle. You don't need to fight it. You just need to ride it. By doing this, you're reclaiming your power. Instead of being driven by suppressed emotions, you're choosing to face them head on. This is real strength, not avoiding the storm, but standing in it with grace. And when you do this, you'll notice something remarkable. The emotions lose their grip on you. You're no longer reacting impulsively or feeling overwhelmed. You're calm, centered, and in control. Emotions are not your enemy. They're your guide. Listen to them, honor them, and then decide what to do with them. You are the pilot of your life, and every storm you navigate makes you stronger. Take a moment right now to drop an affirmation in the comments. I am the master of my emotions. Because when you honor your feelings, you take back control of your journey. Mistake 6. Believing that reconciliation will fix everything. When your ex reaches out, it's easy to let hope to take over. A part of you starts thinking, maybe this time things will be different. Maybe this time it'll work. But here's the truth: hoping for reconciliation without addressing the root issues is like trying to rebuild a house on shaky foundations. It might stand for a while, but eventually it'll crumble a guy. Relationships don't fall apart for no reason. There were cracks, mismatched priorities, and healed wounds or a lack of trust that led to the separation in the first place. And unless those cracks amended, going back will only mean reliving the same struggles. Think about it: is it really love you're feeling, or is it nostalgia? Nostalgia can be deceiving because it highlights the good memories while conveniently sweeping the bad ones under the rug. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control: our choices, our values, our growth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind." OT outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Chasing reconciliation puts your happiness in someone else's hands. It's as if you're saying, I can only be happy if they come back. But you are already whole, already enough just as you are. No one else has the power to complete you. Ask yourself, why do you believe reconciliation will fix everything? Is it because you fear being alone? Is it because you doubt you'll find someone better? These feelings are normal, but they're not the truth. You left or were left for a reason. And that reason still exists, unless both of you have done the deep, difficult work of change. Without that, reconciliation is just a cycle. OT a solution instead of chasing what once was. Shift your focus to what could be. What kind of partner do you deserve? What kind of love aligns with the person you're becoming? The answers to these questions lie within you. OT in your ex. By letting go of the past, you create space for something healthier, something stronger, something that doesn't require you to shrink yourself just to fit. Take a moment right now to remind yourself why the relationship ended. Write it down if you need to. Then ask yourself, am I willing to settle for the same? Or do I deserve better? Because you do. You deserve a love that meets you where you are. OT one that drags you back to where you've been. In the comments, drop an affirmation. I deserve love that aligns with my growth. Remember, the past is a lesson. OT a destination. Trust that your future holds something far better than what you've left behind. Mistake 7. Letting the past control your future. Alright friends, it's tempting to let the memories of an old relationship linger in your mind, shaping how you view yourself and your future. When your ex reaches out, it might feel like all those moments, good and bad, come flooding back, anchoring you in a place you've already outgrown. But here's the truth: your past does not define you. It's only a chapter, not the whole story. Holding on to it is like gripping sand. It doesn't bring it back. It just slips through your fingers while keeping you stuck. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. If you allow your mind to dwell on regrets, what is sand, missed opportunities? You're letting the past control your present. But when you shift your focus to thoughts of growth, resilience, and possibility. You free yourself from those chains. Your thoughts have immense power. They can trap you in yesterday's pie, or propel you toward tomorrow's potential. Think about it. Every moment you spend replaying the past is a moment you're not using to build your future. Yes, the relationship may have been meaningful. Yes, it taught you lessons. But it ended for a reason. And dwelling on it only delays the amazing opportunities waiting for you just beyond the horizon. What if, instead of looking back, you chose to step forward? Imagine what your future could look like if you started putting all the energy you've spent on your ex into yourself. You could create new goals, meet new people, and uncover new strengths you didn't know you had. The end of one chapter isn't the end of the book. It's the beginning of a new story, where you are the main character, OG someone else's supporting role. Take this moment to reclaim your power. Ask yourself, what can I do today to start creating a future I'm excited about? Maybe it's setting a small goal, like taking a walk to clear your mind, or picking up a hobby you've always wanted to try. Maybe it's surrounding yourself with people who uplift and inspire you. Whatever it is, take one step forward and then another. In the comments, drop this affirmation: I choose to move forward with strength and purpose. Let this be your reminder. Your past may shape you, but it doesn't control you. You hold the pen to write the next chapter, and it can be as beautiful as you dare to imagine. Remember, when your ex reaches out, you don't need to react. You need to respond with intention and self-respect. Don't make the mistakes that weaken your power. Instead, reclaim your strength, your confidence, and your self-worth. You're in control always. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment below with your thoughts, and share this with someone who might need a little boost today. You've got this. Stay strong, stay empowered, and I'll see you in the next one.